It's been a place of enormous creativity for people to find ways of meeting human need through what we can do, what people can contribute.
It's an energizing kind of thing. You can't talk about this place without getting excited. It's a place where faith becomes turned into reality kind of situations. There's no other way to describe it. And you can't be in this place without being touched.
I want people to know that this is an amazing place where you can live out that faith, if you have that faith that calls you to uplift those in need, or even if you're just someone that knows, hey, there's folks in need and I want to be able to help. Mission Central can be that place to do that.
No one goes to Mission Central on Sunday for a church service. It's a warehouse. But the love and the grace of Jesus just explodes from that warehouse all around the world.
Mission Central is an idea, first of all. It's an idea of how we help individuals in all walks of life and all economic possibilities to connect to some form of mission and helping other people, both local and global. And Mission Central is the place where we make that happen. We were moving the offices of this annual conference into a new building just down the street from the building we call Mission Central. So when we were purchasing this new office building, I put together a task force to begin to look at a way we might have a building adjacent at that point to the conference offices that would make clear that the work of the church is the work of mission.
We had plans pretty well laid out. We had an architect, we had people who were doing everything. And then suddenly, about a month before we were to come to annual conference with what we thought was going to be an orderly plan to say where we do this, what we thought it would cost, what we might do there, Bishop Irons went to work a different way because the bridge was out.
I was on my way to my office and just going up the street, and I saw a sign for lease outside this warehouse. The owner said, well, we want to lease it. They were clear we only wanted to buy. And when they understood what we wanted to buy it for, they agreed to contribute a tithe of the cost to reduce the cost of the building by 10% as their gift to this vision that we had.
The task force decided very quickly that this was an opportunity that God was giving us. We had basically half an hour to share with the annual conference. We are coming here with God's plan. It's radically different than what we had anticipated. This is the way it is. And at the end of that half hour or 40 minutes, the conference almost unanimously approved it. So Mission Central suddenly became a reality, which was actually 2 years ahead of what we had projected.
The original vision was to build a warehouse less than half the size of this warehouse. So initially there was sort of like this, what are we going to do with this 48,000 square feet?
One of the first partners was Bethesda Mission. They had assets as far as knowledge was concerned that we didn't have. As far as logistics and things like that, they had forklifts they were going to bring which we could use.
But at the time, the leadership intentionally said, let's let the Spirit lead us. And then that's where Bethesda came in, and Computer Ministries and New Digs and different ministries began to come in, and we could see where we could provide that low-cost, no-cost warehouse space. In this facility, between $7.5 million and $11 million worth of material goes through this warehouse annually. Medical equipment, Band-Aids, food, relief supplies, disaster response supplies. We're connecting that locally, nationally, and globally.
Mission Central has given our church the ability to do something we couldn't do on our own. As a hub, we allow others to bring their either materials or their volunteer hours into one central place, which would be our church. We've always had this idea that we were helping people far away. With Hurricane Sandy that happened here at the Jersey coast, we had a very down-to-earth, hand-to-hand way to see how Mission Central works.
It's a disaster. It was scary. It was too scary. Unable to live here because everything was messed up. Everything, no kitchen, no heat, no AC, nothing, no gas, no electricity, and there was winter, and it was very hard to live in that situation.
When the forecast started, I started getting phone calls from Mission Central about these are some things that we can do. We're going to start lining up some things. When those trucks rolled in, I mean, tractor, trailer truck, I mean, the biggest truck you've ever seen, and the doors opened, and it was filled with diapers and heaters and blankets. I mean, food. It was incredible to see how people were connected with Mission Central in Mechanicsburg. It was very moving. This church was turned into a warehouse. Rooms were packed with supplies. People were coming and going with trucks and getting things moved around. So it was a person helping a person who was in need, giving them dry blankets and dry clothing, and that's what it was all about.
Sandy came and destroyed everything, and now I have to start again. So they help us to back to our normal life. They are like a family. I'll never forget them, and they are in my heart. In my kids' heart, everybody's heart.
We have built relationships with these families, and we've walked with them. And they're not members of our church, but they're members of our community. And in doing that, Mission Central has helped us to be the hands and face of Jesus Christ out into the world. And that's so important.
We're very intentional about being ecumenical, interfaith, interdenominational, and even partner with secular agencies.
We agreed that what we were being called to do was not something that would live strictly within the United Methodist Church. It would be holding hands with anybody else who had this same sense of commitment or desire to help other people.
Today, we're at capacity of what we can handle in the warehouse. Now there is room for expansion, and that is to go up. Mission Central has three focuses, which are mission outreach, that's sort of just the everyday equipping folks with mission and with the stuff that they need, and then of course disaster response, and then the third focus since the original vision is mission education. So that's the piece that we can work on as we vision forward, where we educate folks about what it's like to live in, say, Zimbabwe or Sierra Leone or Haiti. They can learn about the economic difficulties and learn about the things that we take for granted and enlighten those folks of the need around the globe and hopefully engage them to participate in a way to uplift those that are in need.
My hope is that we simply keep ourselves flexible so that we can keep finding these new avenues of helping others.
Mission Central is a partner of mine. That's the way I think of it. They're all there to support and guide and direct us and help us. And I feel like we are a much larger church because of them.
Those kind of stories just touch you and just absolutely energize you, and we have those all the time. It's just simply, we call those God moments. And those are the kind of things which just have taken place here since the beginning.
The goal is to tell that story of how we're touching 2 million lives annually with the resources that come through this warehouse to uplift those that are in need, to make their life better, and we invite all who have that heart to do that to join in with us into that story.
I think the stories in chapters, even though it's matured and changed some, it still has not lost that focus of going where God wants us to go. And I think it has changed a lot of people's lives, and I think it will continue to do that.